Tune in, turn up, it's time to go. Deep talks and a crazy show. It's Toon Along, yeah, you know the name. Big ideas, fun and games. Hit that play, don't miss a beat. This is the podcast where we all meet.
All right, and we're back. All right, guys. If you guys are back from the previous episode, if not, it's up to you. You guys can watch this episode. It's the second part of the Rock Lee versus Gaara special, or episode 49, episode 48, if you will. So let's go ahead and start the episode. This is episode 49. It's called Lee's Hidden Strength, Forbidden Secret Jutsu. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. There's Sasuke, there's Naruto, and I'll let you know, there's the logo right now. And it's gone. There we go. So, welcome back. Part 2. We'll see if we do part 3. I mean, obviously Naruto, when you're watching the episodes, there's like, if it's part of the arc, you can find yourself like 4 or 5 episodes in before something dramatic happens. But you know what I mean. Or before the thing actually ends. I remember sitting down. It was actually, you know who introduced me to Naruto? It was my Korean buddy. He brought over some discs he brought from Korea. He popped them in my laptop, and I was surprised they worked. There was no English. It was Japanese, and he had Korean subtitles. I remember just sitting there for like 8 hours straight. I didn't understand a word, but I did understand what was going on. Even though I was watching it, I was still like, let me see that next episode. I want to see what happens. And I knew who was good. I knew who was bad. I knew what they were saying. I knew the names. He was explaining to me kind of as it was going, you know? I mean, not that much, actually. He would probably say like fucking 2 sentences every like episode, and I'd be like, let me ask the right questions, right? So that was fun. So at Naruto, that's how I got hooked on Naruto. And then I brought that shit to high school, and I said, listen, guys, we need to be ninjas. We need to be watching this show. We need to make this our life. Naruto. And I showed a few people. They were like, nah, I'm not convinced. I was like, are you joking me? So anyways, I was the only one in my high school, except for maybe 2 people from maybe every grade, that knew about the show, or even, because how are you going to watch the show? Think about it. Back then, 2003, this would have been 2003, 2004. I mean, all the way till the end of high school, but how would you have found this show early on in high school to even talk about it? So whenever I found Japanese content, or even like Chinese music, I listened to Chinese music early on, just because I was like, what is this stuff? What is this? And it was good. I did enjoy it. Then I started watching anime, and then the anime was like, what is this? This is really interesting. You're seeing all these characters, the way it's done, the way it's portrayed, the way it's drawn. I mean, you see the animation is fucking amazing. Then next thing you know, you got Korea, you got dramas. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen a few of those back in 2003, 2004, all those years, and they were good. I did enjoy them. However, after a while, I started noticing a pattern, and now my mother-in-law watches them, and I myself, I don't watch them. But I think you know, if it's your cup of tea, it's your cup of tea. Enjoy it. So with a show like this, you're looking at Naruto, right? I mean, how many generations would have watched Naruto? How many generations would have been in there when Rock Lee was fighting Gaara, getting his ass whooped like right now? And then when Naruto learns about Nine Tails, you know, all those. Oh man, I gotta think about it. When was it? Back in 2001. Yeah, it would have been 2003. Okay, World Cup. Okay, no. You know what, guys? It was 2006. World Cup Germany. That's when it was. Because my buddy, we were watching. So 2005. I got into Naruto in 2005. My apologies. But the episodes, I think, were from 2003, 2004 that we were watching. And yeah, like I said, he brought over the discs. We were watching them. You know what's funny? I still have the discs. And I'll show you guys. I'm not even joking. I'll take a video just to show you a few episodes with the Korean subs and the Japanese. And I actually have Naruto on DVD. A shout out to a buddy of mine, Scott. He, back maybe about 8 years ago, he lent me his collection of Naruto. Probably the first 80 to 100 episodes. He lent me it on DVD. And I don't know if it was my DVD player, but the subtitles would always kind of sync out of sync, you know. And it would probably happen about halfway through the episode. It would start getting frustrating after a while, but you sort of knew what was happening. And yeah, I'm sorry, Scott, I never returned it to you. I went over one time to his house. He wasn't there, but next time. Anyways, and I got to give a big shout out. Okay, now this is probably the biggest shout out I got to give to. This is a buddy of mine. His name's Ron. I haven't spoken to him in a while, and I regret that. I wish I would have spoken to him, but my buddy of mine is a huge anime fan, and this guy got me knowing all the shows. Not all the shows, but as far as I can, he got me past the anime mainstream wall. Where what I mean by that is like the Naruto's, the DBZ, as far as even past the Conan, Detective Conan, Attack on Titans mainstream. I mean, we were watching Higurashi no Nakokoro ni. We were watching some weird shows, man. Parasite, Steins Gate. I mean, you guys are probably thinking, the hardcore anime fans out there are going, that's not hardcore at all. I'm saying, okay, that's fine. But some of these shows like that, there were some of these shows that had some games on the PC, for the PSP, for the DS, that were unreal. They were really good. And that's the thing, the Japanese content. There's this game for the Wii U that I have. It's a Japanese game. It's called Dotsu. Anyways, it's like the drum game. You're basically banging away. But anyways, I don't have the drums. I have I use the Wiimote, so you go back and forth on that. But just the content the Japanese created, the amount of stuff. I remember my PS3. I'll get back to my buddy Ron in a minute, but my PS3, I remember creating a Japanese account on my PS3 so that I could download the Japanese apps and the Japanese games, the free demos and there was an online game, much like you would play Call of Duty Modern Warfare online. You can play with a free account. Back in the day, they had Gundam Assault, something like that, and it was a free Japanese download, and I'll download it just to show you. It probably doesn't work. If it works, I'll be so surprised. I'll be more than happy to play a game, even if I don't know how to play. But just the different games. There was another game where you ran around shooting a water gun. There was ping pong for the Wii U. For the Wii. It was a good amount of games. So if you guys have a chance to ever check out, even if you don't understand language, just get through the menu. It's simple enough. They make it simple enough. Oh yeah, here's another video of Rock Lee learning how to get through it. After you start to learn the characters, and they're some of your favorite characters, you learn their stories, their back history. And this story becomes iconic. All the characters' stories become iconic. And there's got to be, there obviously is, but I want to see a Naruto list of just the statistics of the top least seen characters in the show, the top least screen time, the weakest characters actually ranked, actually showing the different appearances and value of the characters. I remember Choji. Remember Choji when he got big? I used to think Choji was trash, right? I used to think Choji was like, what is this character? He's terrible. And when Choji was out there, and they were the gang, remember they were like 6 of them, and they were patrolling, and they had two guys on the side, one guy in the front, back, and they were making sure that they were careful, and they were about to meet like the worst character that you could meet, one of the strongest people, right? But it would take 6 of them to battle him, and Choji grows. Choji grows so big, and he's like, what the hell? Mad more respect for Choji. Everybody in there, when they evolved, it wasn't just about Naruto. Even though the show is called Naruto, it wasn't about Naruto. It's about everybody together growing as a family, as a ninja family, and getting through it. Now, that's Rock Lee. Naruto, such good memories. Yeah, so I get back to my buddy Ron, and this guy was my best friend. I still think he's a good friend of mine. I'll try and get in contact with him. If he hears this, Ron, if you're out there and you hear this podcast, don't be shy and hit me up on the email. I don't have your email. I don't have your phone anymore. But anyways, what I'm thinking is, what I was going to say is, back in the day, me and my buddy, we used to go to Chinatown. We used to go hang out. We used to go and look at all the different posters and games and CDs and all the imports, the snacks, you name it, all the stuff that would come in right off the boat from Japan and Chinatown and Hong Kong and all those places. And you would go and just see what was new. You kind of knew what you wanted to get, but sometimes something new came up and you go, there's just too good to pass up, because you know what's going to happen. It's going to get sold and it's never going to come back. You're going to ask for it. It's never going to be there. In Chinatown, I've bought some posters on impulse, because posters are cheap, right? You can get, it's a 1 for $5 or 2 for $7 or 3 for $10, some number like that. And then you're really, never give up. But then, you start accumulating stuff. And then the little figurines, I used to get the Nightmare Before Christmas figurines. You're walking downtown Chinatown, right? You're looking in the toy stores. All the toy stores, what did they have? They all had the figurines lined up, stacked on top of one another. You always ask yourself, how the hell did they get all this? They all had the plush toys in the little plastic bags wrapped up with the little thing. And the lady would go to you and go, this is 2 for $5, 5 for a deck of cards with every anime fucking scene on there. You wonder how they got them. You never ask questions. You just bought it. It was cool. It was cool to see, cool to have. I bought it. I bought tons of it. Beyblades. Looking at it now, I still have the boxes. I'll show. I'm going to do a video of those as well. All my Beyblades. And I wish I would have kept the actual dome. My dad and my parents threw them out, but it's okay. I'm still going to show you the blades on themselves, nonetheless. And just go over some stories. So yeah, just when I think of a show like Chinatown, I think of my buddy Ron. I think of going to Chinatown. I think of just having some of that bubble tea. You're wearing a T-shirt. It's got a Zelda on it. It's got a Naruto logo. That headband. I remember seeing that headband. They used to sell that headband everywhere. I think I even bought one at one point. I might even have it. I don't know where it is. No, I don't think I have it. But all these different things that you would have picked up back in the day, taken for granted. Now you can't even go to Chinatown. Think about what's going on out there in the world. How much would you give to just go back and just walk around and have a nice afternoon of walking in Chinatown or Little Tokyo or the mall, wherever you are? Take a trip and go check your favorite shows, your favorite animes. I mean, right now, obviously, you can go online and do that, but there's just something amazing, transforming, hypnotic when you walk into a store and you see all the shit lying around and you're going, I can buy anything in here. And you look at the price tag and you go, well, I can buy maybe one thing in here. But the whole point is you wanted to just see what they had. And you knew what they had every week. Every time we go to Chinatown, it was kind of a funny reoccurring punchline. But we used to basically say, why are we going back to Chinatown? It's the same thing every week. And I used to think, well, it's not about that. It's about the journey. It's about going there and seeing and maybe stumbling upon upon something that you never saw before, and then going, hey, if I didn't come this time, I wouldn't have saw it, right? Anyways, but Naruto just brings back those times. It's seasonal, right, Naruto? And then they come out with the games, and then you get the games for the GameCube, PS1, Xbox, Wii U, and they have all the characters from the show as it goes, and you're following, and it's really amazing. And then the next game comes out, and the previous game goes down, just like a Madden or a FIFA game or an NHL game. All those games, they just drop in value. But I think, if you're a sports fan, that sucks, right? Your player's no longer in your team or whatever, so yeah, the game would lose value. But as far as like a fighting game or like a Naruto or Dragon Ball Z game, I would still buy it if it was like, really, really cheap. It doesn't matter to me if it's a season old or 2 seasons old. Like, I still play the Naruto game for the GameCube, Naruto 1 and 2, the first games that ever came out in North America for the GameCube. Funny story about that. When I was in Korea, there's these little mini arcade cabinets, and basically you would have to go on your knees or sit down to play them. And this one cabinet had Naruto, the actual GameCube version, and you would play, but you weren't playing on a GameCube controller. It was very interesting. You were playing on a joystick and 3 buttons, and you were basically just going back and forth punching. No GameCube controller. I was very impressed. I was very, and you had to pay, what was it, 15 cents, 20 cents per, to play like an arcade game. If you win, you keep going. for 20 cents, for 50, I probably sat there for an hour or two, and a couple kids sat next to me. We had a couple battles, and the whole point is how do they get away with putting a Naruto game in an arcade box? If they could do that here, you know how many people would love it? You know how many people would go crazy? It sucks you can't do it, obviously, but you never know. If you open an arcade, like think about it, an arcade store, an arcade shop, those are rare. Those are rarer than ever. You're not going to find those anymore. And most of them are probably closed down right now. You just sell the inventory, get it to private collectors, and that's it. But I can remember there's one arcade. There's actually two arcades that I would love to have. If ever I can get one, if ever anybody knows how to get one out there, and I'll definitely pay a good dollar for it, and get it. It's the F-Zero arcade, F-Zero GP Legend, the one from the GameCube. It's basically the arcade game for that. They used to have a card. You used to have your driver's license card. You would put your name on there, your serial number, and you would slide it in, and then you would give you your record on your races and all that stuff. Collect points and level up. I've never seen the cards. I've never seen the cards for sale or on auction or anything like that at all. But I have seen once online the arcade set for $2,000. But I didn't know if it was real or a scam. So I didn't make an offer. And at the time I was living in a smaller house. And I was thinking, where am I going to put this thing? It's huge. But just that one and the Mario Kart. Thinking about Mario Kart arcade system. I think it's based off the Mario Kart GameCube one as well. It's the Mario Kart. Yeah, it's basically Mario Kart arcade. Really cool. Looks really cool. Oh, and Tank for the arcade, not the one for the Wii U. I tried the Wii U one. It's not bad, but there's just something about that arcade system, the way it feels, the way you play it and move around. It's a really good feeling arcade system. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments. When was the last time you guys played an arcade game, and what game was it? And if it's been a while, just like myself, it's probably been what? I want to say, actually, last time I was in Korea, I played an arcade game. We played an arcade game at the movie theater, because at the movie theater there you can play pool. They have a buffet. They have arcades. They have karaoke. You name it. It's a nice place, a nice venue. And you go into the arcade place, and you can play Tekken. You can play old school Tekken. Bring your arcade, your controller. You can play basketball, shoot 'em hoops. You can do everything. And we went there and we played, and it was good. I remember shooting pool with my father-in-law, and it was fun. People would gather around the table. We'd play for money, and it was good times. Good times back in the day. I just wish. Oh, there's Kakashi's Eye. I just wish, there's something about it. I wish we can go back, grab everybody that we used to play games with, watch anime, get together and sit together just for even if it's one night in a while, like the Olympics. Think about the Olympics. Everybody gets together every 4 years, and we just watch anime. We watch cartoons for a weekend or for 2 weeks. We get together for 2 weeks, and we really hang out. And because it's hard to hang out with people nowadays, obviously, right? You know how it's going on. So I'm just saying. Just remember those good old days. Remember the days when you used to walk around Chinatown with your best friends, and when you used to, come back and say, hey, why don't we watch an episode of Naruto? Why don't we watch an episode of Naruto, an episode of Bleach, an episode of Death Note? And Death Note only had, 50 episodes, 70 episodes? The first two seasons, the first two halves were really good. Or the second half I didn't enjoy as much when, was it L died? Yeah, I think so. The second half, no. L didn't die. Who was the other guy? The other guy died. I don't remember. But that whole show was something else. And, YTV, for you guys in Canada, YTV used to have a segment called Toonami. Or not Toonami, Bionics. They used to have Bionics, and they used to have another one, maybe Toonami, I don't know. Or Cartoon Network had Toonami. And they would play anime shows, right? So in YTV, same thing. YTV treated its anime on Friday night. It was always Friday night, and it would play from 8 o'clock, 8:30. Reboot would play, and then right after you start your anime, you'd have Zatch Bell, Inuyasha, Gundam Wing, Naruto. You had a whole bunch of shows, Death Note at one point, and it would play just like right now. Look, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Just like right now, it would play on YTV up until about 3 o'clock in the morning. was just standard. On a Friday night till 3 o'clock in the morning, if you're watching anime, you know. Oh, I can think of another time. Guys, when I was in college, I was in the anime club. And the anime club, I mean, it was the anime video game club. It was just an excuse. We called it the anime club because we weren't allowed a video game club. So we called it the anime club. But in reality, we would bring our DS, our laptops, our GameCubes. We'd have these amazing tournaments of Smash Bros, Tekken, Dance Revolution. They even had. I remember one guy brought in his GameCube and he had the little screen on top of the GameCube. You'd pull it up and you'd have 4 players playing on the little screen. I was blown away. And it was, interesting time. Interesting time. Just all the stuff that was, all the new stuff, all the new content that was coming out, all the new games, the new PC games. PS3 was out. Xbox was 360. Everybody was talking about all the next level games, all the stuff. PS4 came out after all that, right? PS4 came out. I remember when PS4 came out. PS4 came out about 8 years ago. And I was in the store and nothing came out for it. It was pretty dull. I remember going like, okay, I'm sticking to my PS3. I remember buying the PS3. My buddy was coming over to hang out. He was visiting from out of town. And my wife was like, yeah, invite your buddy over. We got lots of food. We're gonna watch some game, watch some sports, play some video games, and we ended up watching Naruto. We ended up playing, what was it? Tekken Tag Team 2. Yeah, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, something like that. Oh man, look at that! Look at Broccoli. Oh man. Look at that. I remember that. I remember when he transforms. Okay, so he's at the 3rd gate. What does he have? 7 gates, right? And look at the reaction. And Guy Sensei's like, I knew it. That's the end of it. Guys, they leave you on a cliffhanger. Look how fast that episode went. Look at how fast that episode went. That's animes for you. And could you imagine? Okay, I want to give you... Let's watch it. Let's watch the next one. Episode 50. We're going to watch the next one. Guys, get ready for episode 50 coming up right next. I just have to, do it in 3 parts because it's a lot easier to, if say you missed the first part or the second part, if you wanted to go back and watch it, it's a lot easier than having it in one episode and then you having a cycle for an hour and a half. So at the end of the day, let's go ahead and stop the episode here and play the next one. Like I said, thanks for stopping by. Check me out on YouTube. I'm putting commercials up there from back in the day. No Instagram. Just go on Twitter. Go on Reddit. Go on all the good stuff. And stay safe out there. Be classy. And don't forget to watch some good anime. It's Friday night. I mean, it's Saturday morning technically, if you want to get technical. But don't get technical with me. All right? It's Friday night. We're enjoying ourselves. Listen, imagine this. Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Back in the day, I'm coming home from the comic book store, and I've got a few good items that I picked up. I got them in my bag, and I get in the house, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and what am I thinking? I'm going to unravel these items as I'm watching anime. That's what I want you to get through your mind. Right now, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Wherever you are in the world, get that mindset through your mind. We're watching the next episode. Come join me. Let's go right now. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite platforms. Check out YouTube for retro content. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and visit toonalong.com for more info. Support us on Patreon, and we'll catch you next time.
Toon Along, yeah, you know the name. Big ideas, fun and games. Hit that play, don't miss a beat. This is the podcast where we all meet.